What is going on, everybody? WeedleTwineedle here, and we are backing out with an Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon Wi-Fi battle, and this one's going to be a rarely used tier battle against Peter, somebody I battle off my Discord. Now looking at his team... Wow! Do you see how fat it is? I'm having fun! Now the video length actually makes sense. My team, I'm using some very fun movesets if you couldn't tell by the Cherrim, using, Drought Ninetales, the Chlorophyll Vileplume, just adaptability, Dragalge, and a very impressive Milotic set that I got from Cancer Fairy. So without further ado, let's hop right into this battle against Peter, who is wearing the fuckboy Komao outfit, because everybody who wears that Komao outfit is indeed a fuckboy, no questions asked. You can try to deny it, but I mean, the Komao outfit doesn't lie, people. That's all I'm trying to say. So on turn one with my Panda squad, I was supposed to name it Panda Gang to reference Pyrotaz, but I nicknamed it wrong, and I feel like a big disappointment now, but it's okay. Panda squad, we're gonna go for Z Snatch, hoping my opponent goes for Shell Smash on turn one with Cloyster, which is exactly why I let off the Pangoro, because usually Cloysters try to cheese you on turn one, or they just, if you didn't have a Cloyster, then I could just switch out pretty simply. But if you let off a Cloyster and I didn't have Pangoro out, I was in a bad situation, but I was able to snatch that Shell Smash away from him. Now I'm able to go for Power Trip with 8 stat changes, I believe, because +2, +2, +4 because of the +2 speed from Z Snatch. So that is a 180 base Power Trip, very powerful.
Wow.
In comes Mana Buzz. Gonna go for the +2 Drain Punch, hoping we can knock this thing out. But Mana Buzz, very, very fat. Panda Gang, Panda Squad isn't strong enough, and now we're gonna get Whirlwinded out. So unfortunately, the Z Snatcher really doesn't amount to much outside of denying Cloyster from knocking out my entire team. But now he's gonna bring Cancer Fairy, the Milotic. Now this Milotic set is very interesting. Now you guys might be wondering, oh, he's running a Flame or boring Scald set, but no, I have the Hypnosis, and we're actually able to connect. Now there's a very good reason why I have Hypnosis. It's not just because I want to put stuff to sleep. It's because I do have Coil on this Milotic set, and with Coil and the Flame Orb, you just become unkillable because of Marvel Scale and Max Def investment. You just become unkillable essentially. My opponent really can't touch me, but he can roost off the health that I did to him with the Pangoro. So I want to make sure he doesn't wake up. So I bring a Ninetales here, my Kurama, get the Sun set up. And unfortunately, my opponent does get the first turn wake up and is able to go for Roost and get all of that HP back. So I was really hoping I would be able to knock out Mana Buzz early on, but unfortunately the Hypnosis wasn't good enough, and Mana Buzz is back at full HP. So, whew, this is gonna be a long battle. Hooray! My opponent's gonna bring in the Florges here, the freaking flower. I just go for Overheat, trying to hit the Mana Buzz as hard as possible, but in comes Florges. Still takes a really big chunk from that, actually. It takes a lot more than I was expecting, and I don't think my opponent can really heal off the damage unless he wishes, or goes for the other recovery move Florges gets. But I'm gonna switch out now because I don't want to stay in here and become setup fodder or get toxic. So gonna bring a Rafflesia here, my Vileplume, as my opponent has Synthesis. I mean, that is Florges' only recovery move outside of a Wish. But it's kind of annoying because, of course, the one game I decided to pick a Sun team. My opponent has Moonlight Cresselia, and he has Synthesis Florges, so I just literally counter-teamed myself. That was pathetic, but I'm gonna set up the Grassy Terrain here. I have to set up this Grassy Terrain. So now we have the Sun up, now we have the Grassy Terrain up. So you might be wondering what all the setup is for. You guessed it, it's for Cherrim Jaws. So I'm gonna bring in Cherrim here, we're gonna activate Flower Gift, predicting Psyshock, Toxic, Psychic, Ice Beam, whatever. My opponent's going to go straight for Moonblast onto Cherrim, but we were able to tank it very well, even with the crit, because of Flower Gifts increased Def. And with Grassy Terrain recovery, I should be able to face tank whatever Cresselia wants to go over. My opponent gonna play it safe and bring in the Moltres here. Legit shiny Moltres.
Shiny Moltres! We got it! Woohoo!
I love it. Gonna activate the pressure, as now I'm gonna go for the Swords Dance because Cherrim gets Swords Dance for some reason. So it's actually a speed tie, I do believe, because Cherrim has base 85 speed. I think Moltres has the same speed stat, so I'm hoping I can outspeed Moltres here. And him with a +2 return in the Sun because of Flower Gift. We're able to one-shot Moltres. With Cherrim. Oh, good job, Cherrim. So that's both of my opponent's offensive Pokemon dead. All he really has left now is really fat Wall. So now I'm going to go for Petal Blizzard because in Grassy Terrain it's stronger than Return. Unfortunately, Mana Buzz is able to live, and he's able to Whirlwind Cherrim out. So this Whirlwind is really pissing me off, man. My opponent definitely picked Whirlwind for the right guy because I'm always using setup Pokemon, so Whirlwind is my #1 counter. So he's going to bring in Pangoro again, and I know I'll be able to knock out Mana Buzz with that Drain Punch pretty easily from this range of health. My opponent decides to stack off Mandibuzz. So at the very least, this mon is dead, which opens up the door for Cherrim to do a little more damage. But otherwise, like, Cherrim already pulled off some impressive feats, nearly OHKOing Mandibuzz with Petal Blizzard, a resisted attack. Very impressive indeed. But now I'm going to switch into Kurama here to reset up the sun, and so I can resist Moonblast. Pretty obvious play, to be honest with you. My opponent does choose to go for Calm Mind because he's actually a Calm Mind Florges, which is really bad for my team because my only poison types are special attackers, and they don't appreciate Calm Minds, and neither does the rest of my team. My only physical attackers get 1v1 by the Florges outside of Cherrim. Cherrim is my last saving grace, so my opponent's able to set up a second Calm Mind, realizing that he has nothing to fear against the Ninetales, and he's definitely right there because Ninetales really can't touch Florges unless they get like a crit with Overheat or something. That'd be nice, but I don't see that happening. Gonna go for the Grassy Terrain here just to reapply the Grassy Terrain, just so I'm really hoping that Cherrim can actually damage this Florges, because if it can't, this battle's looking pretty bad. My opponent's able to set up the third Calm Mind, I do believe, if I'm counting correctly. And this floor just is looking like a problem. I should probably try to bring in Cherrim, but I don't want to bring it directly in. But I'm going to go for Growth here because my Vileplume does have Growth. So I'm like, wait, I can just neutralize the stat boost and hopefully beat it 1v1. My opponent's going to choose to go for Moonblast here. I'm not too sure how well I can tank this at +3, but we'll see. We do tank it reasonably well. And after Grassy Terrain, it looks like we can live another one potentially. So I'm really hoping we can. My opponent's going to, you know, take the Sludge Bomb really well. A lot better than I thought he would, unfortunately. We're able to get a Poison chance, though, which is very nice. A nice 30% chance to Poison. My opponent's going to hit me up with a Moonblast yet again. And unfortunately, he's going to crit me, which is kind of unfortunate because if I didn't get crit, I would be able to knock him out with a second Sludge Bomb most likely, but not much you can do about that. It was probably a roll anyways, so I can't really get mad about that. We were able to poison Florges, which is definitely going to help us whittle it down, that's for sure. So since the sun is still active, I'm expecting my opponent to want to click Synthesis here, so I'm going to bring in Cherrim here with Grassy Terrain and the Flower Gift active. I'm really hoping my opponent is fearful of Cherrim. So I'm actually going to go for Sword Stance here. Really greedy because my opponent could just knock me out with Moonblast, but I'm pretty sure my opponent's going to want to go for Synthesis here. But my opponent clicks Moonblast, and I literally just could have probably killed it there with Petal Blizzard. I probably could have, but yeah, even Shaniqua makes misplays. I'm not the almighty Pimp Knight who makes perfect plays every turn. Sometimes Shaniqua does misplay, so we're going to pretty much choke against this Florges because that was like my last Pokemon to really hit this thing hard. Now I'm going to bring Cancer Fairy, my Milotic, hoping that, you know, maybe I could beat this thing 1v1. So I'm going to go for Coil. And you guys might be wondering, like, how are you going to beat this 1v1 if it has a bunch of special defense boosts and you're burned? Like, there's no way you're going to be able to hurt this thing with physical attacks because you're burned. And I'm like, yeah. So what I was thinking, I can't put this thing to sleep because I poisoned it. I actually would have been better off if I didn't poison it with Sludge Bomb because then I could just go for the Hypnosis after coiling. But unfortunately, I misplayed around this floor just really badly. We're able to set up a coil, and now I'm going to go for a second coil, trying to get my defense increased as much as possible. Gauge damage against the Moonblast because I am max specialty defense, max hit points. My opponent's going to go for another Calm Mind. My opponent playing very greedy, but I guess against my Milotic, there's no reason not to go for Calm Mind because worst case scenario, I crit him with Scald, which won't do shit anyways. But I don't even have Scald on the set. That's the funny part. I don't even have Scald. I have a very interesting move, which you guys are definitely not going to see coming unless you know the Cancer Fairy Milotic set already. And this Milotic set, I feel like it could do a lot of work in the right situation. It's just such a funny meme that I felt like I had to use it and, you know, in spirit of Cancer Fairy. So I'm going to keep going for Coil just to keep increasing my attack and defense, just so I can damage this floor just potentially. My opponent's finally going to hit me with a Moonblast. Just going to see how much damage it's going to do, as this does so much damage at +4. Thankfully, Grassy Terrain's going to heal us up a little bit, but it's also healing up Florges, so it's not really helping me in the situation. And with Leftovers and Grassy Terrain, my opponent's pretty much just out healing this poison, so even if my opponent has Aromatherapy for some reason, he has no reason to click Aromatherapy with Grassy Terrain active, so fair enough. Now I'm going to go for the +3 Facade because my Milotic's last move is Facade. It also has Recover. Facade does very little damage as Moonblast is going to knock out my Milotic. So yeah, this Florges is looking like it's going to destroy me. I literally cannot do anything to it. I gotta hope I crit it essentially. It's my only play. Otherwise this Florges just pretty much mops the floor with my team. So I misplayed really badly. Should have just Petal Blizzard it with my Cherrim, though I did not think about that play. But now I'm gonna bring Kurama here, my Ninetales. It's my only fairy resistance left, so maybe I could take an attack and then go for Overheat, get like a miracle crit or something. But at this point, the battle's not looking so good. So I'm gonna go for Overheat here, trying to just crit him or something, do some sort of miracle, but unfortunately Moltres is able to eat it very, very nicely. And now the sun's gonna help out my opponent, gonna be able to synthesis and get all of that health back. Oh my gosh, I'm so mad that I have a sun team because synthesis and Moonlight on Cresselia are just, wow. When you thought bulky Pokemon couldn't be any more annoying. Whew, this is gonna be a difficult game. So how am I gonna work around this Moltres, you may be asking? Power Swap! So my Ninetales actually has Power Swap. It was actually an idea I stole off of the Draco Meteor Power Swap Altaria. So we're able to steal the Moltres' special attack boost. Now my opponent reveals I have Aromatherapy, so I figured that he would have Aromatherapy on the Calm Mindset, but he might have a coverage move. But either way, we're able to get all the special attack boosts. My opponent's also Spadef boost, but thankfully I have Psyshock on this Ninetales to break through Calm Minders and Salazzle in particular. And yeah, Psyshock's able to 2-hit KO the Moltres. My opponent probably thought he could just reset up on, you know, the Ninetales because actually that wouldn't have really worked because I guess like if I overheated, you could have just kept synthesizing the damage off and then it would have been whatever. But thankfully, I have the hidden tech being Psyshock, so it doesn't matter how high my opponent's Spadef stat is. I'm currently at +4 special attack, so Psyshock is going to be able to 2-hit KO the Fizdef Moltres, and down goes this monster. So now we have a +4 Ninetales in the sun, which is something my opponent does not know how to deal with. So he's going to bring in the Steelix here, and Steelix is forced to stay in regular form because he needs to activate Sturdy to live this overheat. And so he's going to live with, you know, the Sturdy, of course, and he's going to go for the Earthquake to try to knock me out, which is definitely the correct call. If my opponent clicked the Mega Steelix there, it would have been the end of the game. My opponent played it smart, goes for Earthquake, but unfortunately, regular Steelix does not hit that hard apparently, so we're able to live, and now my opponent's going to reveal the Mega Steelix. I mean, I figured he was Mega Steelix because he's using it in the very least tier, and my opponent just couldn't Mega Evolve there, so he could use Sturdy, so he can live the attack. So that was pretty well played on my opponent's part. He made me lose special attack boosts, and I mean, he played Sturdy very well, but unfortunately, Earthquake was unable to knock out Ninetales, so now my opponent's last Mon is going to be Cresselia. So it's Cresselia versus the world. And I'm still at +2, so I have no reason not to go for the overheat here. Hopefully we can knock out this Cresselia, but Cresselia is so freaking fat, dude. And it's going to be able to Moonlight, and because the sun is up, it's going to get all of its health back. And I'm like, oh, the raid boss is here, ladies and gentlemen. The raid boss is here. So now I'm going to go for a second overheat, trying to just get a crit or something, but no, it's not enough. My opponent's able to Moonlight and get all of his health back, and now I'm at -2, so there's literally nothing my Ninetales can do at this point. The Cresselia just out-tanked me, but now I'm going to go for Power Swap, just because I know Cresselia has Moonblast, and it being at -2 might allow Pangoro to live a Moonblast, so I gotta keep that in mind. That's pretty much my only win con at this point, because at this point Cresselia is looking like it's gonna be able to sweep my team. I'm gonna bring a Naomi here, the Dragalge, and I'm just like, alright, I gotta get a Sludge Bomb Poison. There's literally no other play. Thanks to the -2 special attack, the Cresselia does do very little damage to with Psyshock, but I'm gonna have to go for Sludge Bomb Poison chance. That's pretty much all I got at this point. Sludge Bomb is still doing a reasonable amount of damage because of adaptability, but it's not doing enough. Psyshock is looking like a 4-hit KO because of the Power Swap -2. Very glad I managed to get that off, because if I didn't, I'm pretty sure this game would have been over, but now I have a slight chance to win if I'm able to break through this Cresselia. If I'm able to poison it, there might be a chance, but it's not looking very good at this point. I'm gonna go for another Sludge Bomb, pray for the 30% chance. We don't get it, and my opponent's able to go for a Psyshock again. The sunlight being up is really not helping the situation, though I'm pretty sure it expires, or it already expired like a turn or so ago. But I'm gonna go for Sludge Bomb again. Finally, we get the poison chance, and now there's hope. Now there is hope, ladies and gentlemen. So, whew, this Cresselia is such an issue. My opponent's gonna go for the Moonlight yet again, trying to get the health back. And thankfully the sun is gone, so he's not going to get 75% of his health back. That would have been very annoying. Now I'm going to go for Draco Meteor just to weaken this Cresselia as much as humanly possible. Hopefully we can get like a crit, but Cresselia is able to live everything you throw at it, and there's literally nothing I can do with that. Such low HP, but I can just constantly Moonlight and Moonlight. It only has 8 power points, so it's very limited. So now I'm going to bring in Panda Squad here because I want to save the Dragalge as death fodder, and just so I can stall out PPA if I need to, because keeping it in there is pretty much useless. Moonlight's gonna give her gonna give him half his health back. I guess Cresselia is a female, so it still works. But now I'm gonna go for Sword Stance. I was gonna go for Snatch, trying to get the Moonlight, but I realized going for Moonlight against a Pokemon that already revealed Snatch is very questionable. So I go for Sword Stance instead. My opponent's gonna go for Moonblast, and thanks to the -2, we were able to Power Swap onto Cresselia. We're able to snack that, and at that range of health, I'm pretty sure +2 power trip, even with this Culver Berry, will be able to knock out the Cresselia. And we're able to defeat this raid boss Cresselia. And that is going to be the end of the battle. We're able to win with the 2-0 victory. And holy moly, that was a very long Wi-Fi battle. I sped this Wi-Fi battle up by 250%, so I know this Wi-Fi battle was very, very long. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this Wi-Fi battle against Peter, as it was a very intense Wi-Fi battle. I got to showcase some very fun movesets like Coil, Milotic, you know, Physical Sword Stance, Cherrim, and Power Swap, Ninetales. Also Z-Snatch Power Trip Pangoro is pretty cool as well. Unfortunately, I never got to activate my weakness policy because I never brought a weakness policy. Weedle, you didn't bring a weakness policy? How dare you have free will and not bring a weakness policy to every battle? No weakness policy, no content. Unsubscribed.